But if the university is an extension of the state, then can it teach innovation?
Very difficult.
So what's its value?
What you need to do is introduce competition into the university system, which the state fights tooth and nail.
So that's an entrepreneurial value, competition. Can we introduce risk into universities as a concept?
It's very tricky.
But then, in all seriousness, if the university is anti-risk and is an extension of the state in a globalized marketplace, it's not clear where if at best it has no value, at worst
there's
it's
negative
actually
value.
destructive.
Yeah.
And you would agree?
How to make the university a centers of opportunity creation, I think, is the universal challenge.
Is that a contradiction in terms? Do we have to blow up the concept of further education and reinvent it?
I think the university is going to go through a reinvention. And the easiest thing you can do is to introduce competition. I mean, it forces them to do things differently. It forces them to respond to the market. It forces them to respond to students' needs. From a historical point of view, the U.S. system was an experiment, right? Private universities funded with private money to promote opportunity was almost an American invention, as opposed to the university being an extension of the state, where it was set up to basically create, the educated elite to run society. Well, remember, there are two models of the university. There's the European model, which was set up to basically reinforce the social structure. And then there was the American model, which was basically set up to promote opportunity. Two completely different views of the university, and they come out of the last century. Where we are today on that is probably the European universities trying to create more opportunity and the Americans less, but I'm not 100% sure of that. I mean, see, ask the question at the at the level of the state, why not free up the universities? The state, let them determine their own curriculum, let them develop more of their own programs. And the answer is no, we want to have it more centralized so we can control the outcome. The US was one of the few countries, actually the Dutch started it 400 years ago. The US was one of the few countries that was founded on the idea that creating the future was something you gave to the people. And this is where this idea comes from, that why do we allow 20-year-olds to do this? You gotta be crazy. But if you want to invent the future, you let people do it. If you don't want to change society, you prevent that. The state wants to have a monopoly of the wealth creating process. You need the university to change. You need to open it up.
And what has to happen?
I think you have to reduce the centralized control of the university and introduce competition both within specific universities and in the system as a whole. You don't need entrepreneurs to do more of what we're already doing. Managers are great at doing that. Entrepreneurship, if you want to give it something that say, what's different about it, right? Because people go around calling the manager the entrepreneur. Everybody's not an entrepreneur. Here's what the entrepreneurs do, and this is why you need them. They invent the future. How do you invent the future? By destroying the past.
So if there's one thing you'd like to see tomorrow, what would it be? Anything.
I don't know. I have to think about that.